This video is meant for those who want to learn more about Tesla stock splits in 2020. In August 2022, Tesla's stock split 3-for-1 for $900 per share after splitting 5-for-1 for $2,000 2 years earlier. However, what if I told you that the next stock split might occur as soon as 2024? What if, knowing about the impending stock split, there was a method to deliberately buy shares in order to cash out before we proceeded? Click the like and subscribe buttons. And don't forget to forward this video to your friends who want to start earning a lot of money. Alright, let's get started. First off, it's crucial to understand that a stock split is not the same as a sheer buyback. A stock split is the division of an organization's current shares. A share buyback, on the other hand, entails a company buying back its shares from its shareholders, thereby reducing the number of outstanding shares and increasing the value of each remaining share. This effectively lowers the price per share while maintaining the overall value of the company. In August 2020, the company split its shares 5-for-1, costing $2,000 each. 2 months later, in August 2022, the company split its shares 3-for-1, costing $900 each. These stock splits were seen as a way to make Tesla's shares more accessible to a wider range of investors, as the higher price per share prior to the splits made it difficult for some to invest in the company in terms of a share buyback. It is difficult to say for sure, but Tesla has engaged in a number of these events recently. In March 2019, the company announced plans to buy back $2 billion worth of shares over the course of 2 years, signaling confidence in the company's long-term prospects and returning value to shareholders. In February 2021, Tesla announced another share buyback program, this time for up to $5 billion worth of shares. As for the possibility of another stock split in 2024, it is difficult to say for sure. Stock splits are typically announced by companies based on a variety of factors, same of the company for its stock. While it's possible that Tesla will announce another stock split in the upcoming years, there's currently no way to know for sure. As for strategically buying shares to cash out with the knowledge of a stock split, it's important to note that this is a speculative strategy that carries a significant amount of risk. It's impossible to predict when a company will announce a stock split, and even if one is announced, there's no guarantee that the stock price will rise afterward. As with any investment strategy, it's important to conduct extensive research and take into account all pertinent factors before making any decisions. Before we get into projections and figures, as I've already mentioned, there are a few intriguing details to take into account regarding how Tesla handles stock splits. The company appears to prefer to avoid 4-digit stock prices, as evidenced by the fact that the stock price was closer to $1,000 per share during the second stock split. Although Google and Amazon split their stock into 24 separate companies, it still seems absurd to have shares worth thousands of dollars. Instead, it is anticipated that Tesla will split its shares into high hundreds or around $800 per share. Another interesting fact is that, following a stock split, the company doesn't want the price of its shares to drop below $200. The low end of its range is around assuming that 15 of the newly sold vehicles will convert to or pay for the full FSD amount. Let's start with a prediction of $45 as an EPS for 2030. We don't have FSD subscription numbers or know how many customers are paying for it every month, but these are pretty significant facts to take into consideration when looking into the future. Initial estimates put the number of new cars on the road in 2030 at 14 million. Although it's expected to be closer to 20 million. Some may consider that bullish, but Tesla's results as early as this year could surprise us. We already know the answer for 2020 at a PE of about 50, and we can calculate what the stock prices would be and when they will split. But given that we're still in a bear market and the PE for 2023 is currently about 60, a PE of 60 is quite remarkable. Please click the like and subscribe buttons if you're interested in learning more about Tesla stock splits and the company's production and delivery data estimates. Many factors, such as market movements, interest rates, inflation, and Fed policies, are involved in determining Tesla's future. Notwithstanding this uncertainty, I believe that Tesla's PE will be roughly 50 for 2020 and 2023 because I believe that we will likely be in a bull market by the end of this year or at least halfway through. Gary Black anticipates that the company will be valued at $1.2 trillion at a stock price of about $370 per share, which would give it an absurd PE of 74. In contrast, I believe that a more realistic PE of 50 would place the stock price at about 400. During a bull market, there is a chance that the market will become irrational and drive prices higher than they should. Despite the fact that equities like Tesla, Meta, and Netflix are money printing machines, they could still fall 80% in value. In the event that fear takes over and Tesla proceeds with a stock split, the price per share might drop to about $200, which could result in a fourfold increase in the stock price. However, looking ahead, I believe that the stock price will most likely be lowered to about $70, $80 in 2025 and $40 annually in 2026 after a stock split. Until there is a significant innovation that propels Tesla stocks to greater heights, I don't see Tesla's price rising much above the low 20s for the remainder of this decade and the first half of the next. When will Tesla divide its shares? My prediction is that the average PE for this ticket will be in the low 30s for the next 10 years and in the mid-50s for the next 10. Though it's difficult to predict with certainty, my goal is 60p of 300 per share in 2023, when the stock price is probably going to be about 400 with a PE of 50 in 2024. Price declines of up to $45 with a PE of 45 are possible in 2025, and price drops to about $700 with a PE of 40 in 2026. Although it's impossible to predict the future with absolute accuracy, I think Tesla will have at least 2 significant stock splits in the upcoming years, maybe as early as 2024 depending on growth. I feel fairly secure in it is highly unlikely that Tesla will split its stock anytime soon. Instead, the next opportunity for a split may occur when the stock reaches a value of $500 to $600 per share, which could happen towards the end of this decade or in the early stages of the 2030s. We look forward to seeing how this plays out in reality. I think 2026 would be the best year for a split, but 2025 to 2027 would also work. We also want to clarify this for anyone considering investing now before a buyback occurs. During a stock split, the total value of an investor's holdings stays the same, but the number of shares increases and the price per share decreases proportionately. As a result, the number of shares an investor needs to purchase to maximize their profits during the split depends on their personal investment goals and the specifics of the split. For instance, if a company announces a 2-for-1 stock split, an investor who owned 100 shares prior to the split will now own 200 shares after the split, but the value of their holdings will not change if the stock price doubles after the split. Generally speaking, owning more shares can potentially yield a higher return on investment during a stock split, but it's crucial to keep in mind that investing entails risks, and there is no assurance that profits will be realized. Additionally, stock splits are not the only factor that affects a company's share value. Investors should also take the company's performance and future prospects into consideration before making any decisions investing choices. Even though stock splits are unpredictable, it makes sense for Tesla to maintain its price at 3 figures in order to make it more affordable for the average person. Let's see how well this prediction comes true in the upcoming years. I'm fairly confident that it will hold steady. Thank you for watching, and if you enjoyed this kind of content, please remember to like and subscribe. We hope to see you in the next foreign video.